The sea was not as usual that day. Gusts of wind drove the waves, and the sky hung heavy over the coastal village where an old man named Isaac lived. He knew the ocean from his youth, knew its smells, its moods, and its voice. But that day, he sensed something was wrong. Isaac had never gone to sea during a storm, but today it was as if someone was calling him. He saw seagulls begin to circle low, nervously in the distance, almost at the very edge of the cliffs. It was a sign. He grabbed his paddle and stepped out into his old boat, despite the power of the waves. A few minutes later, he found himself in an area where something was struggling desperately underwater. At first he thought it was a large fish caught in a net, but as he swam closer, he realized it was a dolphin. Young, with smooth skin the color of gray silver, almost without strength. Its tail was tangled in a discarded illegal fishing net, and every movement made the pain worse. Isaac acted without thinking. Carefully, through the cold waves and chunks of seaweed, he reached the dolphin. He cut the ropes with his knife, not fearing that the dolphin might hit him. The dolphin behaved calmly, as if it knew it was being rescued. A few minutes later, the net fell into the water. The dolphin sighed, moved its fins, and disappeared into the depths. Isaac sat in the boat, wiping his forehead and trying to catch his breath. He didn't expect gratitude. He just couldn't leave a living thing to die. But he couldn't imagine that tomorrow morning his life would begin to change. The next morning the sea was quiet, as if repenting for its fury of yesterday. Isaac woke up early, as always. He didn't think about yesterday's dolphin rescue. In his 67 years, he had helped injured birds, turtles, even once pulled a small shark off the hook. It was all part of living by the ocean. He went ashore and began to mend his nets as usual, stretching them by the boat. Suddenly, there was a splash. At first, he thought it was a fish, but when he turned around, he could not believe his eyes. In the bay, just 10 meters from the shore, swam a dolphin. He swam slowly, as if looking for someone. Then it leapt out of the water, almost in one place. Isaac recognized it. It was the same dolphin. He had returned. The old man came closer and sat down on the edge of the old pier. And then a strange thing happened. The dolphin dived, and a few seconds later, it surfaced with something in its mouth. It was a fish. A fresh, big, fat fish. He threw it right at the old man's feet. Isaac laughed. Softly at first, then louder and louder. He didn't know if it was a joke of nature, a coincidence, or a gift. But from that moment on, everything was different. The dolphin came back the next day, and again, a fish. And then another and another. The old man began to wait for him. And every time the dolphin brought a fish, Isaac fed him a piece of crab or peeled squid. Something more than friendship developed between them. It was trust, quiet, without words, but real. It's been over a week. Isaac stopped fishing the way he used to. He no longer went out to sea every day, nor did he cast his nets at random. Now he just waited by the shore. Every dawn began the same way. A light mist, seagulls in the sky, and the splash of water at the pier. The dolphin always appeared at the same time, as if he sensed when Isaac would be waiting. Sometimes he brought fish, sometimes shells, once even a piece of net, as if he were playing with it. Isaac didn't give him a name. He just called him friend. And he laughed like a boy when he saw a dolphin spinning underwater as if performing a dance. They didn't bother anyone. No one in the village even knew about it. Isaac didn't tell. Not because he didn't want to, but because he was afraid someone would break that delicate, fragile magic between them. One day he decided to try something new. He poured water into an old aluminum bowl, set it on the edge of the pier, and threw crabs in it. When the dolphin swam up, he carefully pulled its head out of the water and took the crab right out of the bowl, as if he knew it was a gift in return. That day, Isaac spoke to him out loud for the first time. He told how he had lost his wife, how he had been alone ever since, how the sea was his only home. The dolphin didn't answer, but he didn't swim away. He just swam beside him. and that was enough. The peace lasted almost a month. The dolphin's morning visits became Isaac's reason for living. He felt needed again. Old age was receding, not on the outside, but on the inside. Even the other fishermen began to notice that he was walking differently, his eyes shining. But he remained silent. It was his secret. Until one day, everything changed. Strangers appeared on the shore, young people with cameras, drones, and bright life jackets. They talked loudly, laughed, and waved their arms. Tourists, volunteers. Isaac didn't know, but he felt that it was bad. That day, the dolphin did not come. Not at dawn, nor later. The old man sat at the edge of the pier all day, staring at the horizon. In the evening, he walked along the shore, along the rocks, calling out, not loudly, almost in a whisper, as if afraid of scaring away the fragile connection. The next day, the dolphin appeared, but it was not alone. Behind it, on jet skis, were the same young people chasing it. They shouted, laughed, and tried to film it on video. One of them threw something shiny into the water, like bait. The dolphin swam nervously away from them, but couldn't get far. One of the jet skis blocked its path to the open sea. Isaac couldn't take it anymore. He ran out onto the pier, waving his arms and shouting. His voice broke, "Leave him alone! He's not a toy." But no one heard him, or didn't want to hear him. That evening, the dolphin didn't bring any fish. He didn't even swim close. He just watched from afar. There was something new in his gaze. Wariness, sadness, fear, and Isaac's heart sank. He realized that their friendship was threatened not only by time, but also by people. After that incident, Isaac became even more cautious. He understood that their friendship with the dolphin was fragile and needed to be cherished. Every day he went out to the pier, but the dolphin came less and less often. The old man's heart ached with longing and anxiety. But one morning, when the sun was just beginning to paint the sky in shades of pink and gold, the dolphin finally appeared. It slowly swam to the shore and looked intently at Isaac. Its eyes showed caution, but also hope. Isaac, without saying a word, reached out and dropped a piece of fish into the water. The dolphin did not immediately take the gift. He hesitated, as if checking whether he could trust it. But then he cautiously took the food and turned to leave. The old man smiled, feeling that trust could be restored. They began to spend time together again. The dolphin brought fish, and Isaac carefully fed it. Their friendship was different, stronger, but also more careful. Several weeks passed, and the dolphin began to play near the pier again, swimming up to Isaac without fear. The old man understood that true friendship is patience, respect, and care. And this friendship gave him a purpose in life. Several years passed. Isaac grew very old, and the dolphin became his faithful companion, never leaving the shore. Their friendship became a legend in the village, a story of a miracle that happened thanks to patience and love. Isaac often sat on the pier, gazing into the distance, and remembered all those mornings when the dolphin came to him with gifts. He knew that even when he was gone, the memory of this unusual friend would remain in people's hearts. Over time, other villagers began to notice the dolphin and gradually stopped treating it as a curiosity or a danger. They learned to respect this connection, carefully observing the miracle of friendship between a human and a sea animal. The story of Isaac and the dolphin inspired many and reminded them of the importance of protecting nature and those around them. One morning, the dolphin swam up to the pier, as if understanding that Isaac was tired. He gently touched the old man's hand with his fin, a quiet, tender farewell gesture. The old man smiled back, his eyes shining with tears. The dolphin swam away into the sea, but their friendship will live on, in stories, in hearts, in legends. Because true friendship is eternal.